I'm Gacha J. This is your home for Gacha news, analysis, and reviews. So let's get into this month of May's actual revenue stream so we can see how well your favorite Gacha game's doing. If you feel like picking a new game up or exploring or trying to figure out why a game is doing so good or bad, this is your type of video. I have added quite a few new names to this list compared to the past, and right now we have 15 games that are above the $3 million mark, and that's the highest that we've seen yet on this list. Yes, some of that has to do with the fact that I added some to this list, but nonetheless, that's exciting. So let's go ahead and break it down. The ones you see on screen and the way that I read it is the highest to the lowest. So I won't tell you the exact numbers because I don't feel like that's fair to the company, but we will go down this list regardless. And as always, guys, please remember that this is the global servers only, or more specifically, whatever server touches the North American markets. The reason why is because the data that I can get access to is the data that's region specific to me. So guys, be sure to understand that some of these games do a lot better in Asianic games, such as Fate Grand Order have made more than $4 billion over the course of their existence. And even though they're not doing that great over here in America or the EU markets, they're still killing it overseas. Without further ado, once again, your highest earning gacha game is Genshin Impact. And a lot of you don't think that it is a gacha game, but I think it is the gacha game of the future. As someone that's building a gacha game myself, there's a lot of inspiration that comes from what Genshin Impact did pretty poorly with the monetization, the gacha mechanics, the way that you get attached to these characters, things of that nature. And I think that they've actually shown a little bit of a formula that could really become more of the future of what we're expecting out of hero collectors and gachas. So I'm excited to see the future of these upcoming titles, including my own, and we will get going with the rest of it. So Genshin Impact number 1, Rise of Kingdoms, Raid Shadow Legend, Summoner's War, Marvel Strike Force, Dokkan Battle, our Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, AFK Arena, Fire Emblem Heroes, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, Epic 7, Idol Heroes, and Dragon Ball Legends. Guys, that is all the games that have finished above 3 million. Every single game that I covered and was on the previous video has earned money this month. I don't know what it was about May, but you guys love to spend buku amount of dollars this month. So kudos to you and your hard-earned cash being spent on some 2D anime. I approve. Now we're gonna shift gears and go all the way down to the bottom here. These are the games that actually made under $100,000. And sadly, it's a pretty large list with a lot of titles you guys actually love. So it's weird to say it, but Romancing Saga Reuniverse, Destiny's Child, Danmachi, Food Fantasy, Deck Heroes, Arcana Tactics, King's Raid, Summoner's Glory, Birdie Crush, Soccer Spirits, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, Idola Phantasy Star Saga, Heroes War Counterattack, Divinity Rise, Magatsu Warhide, and Hunter Leagues Begins. Now, guys, towards the bottom, some of these are making less than 10K a month. So if you are still looking at that game as your main game, it is probably really good time to jump ship because they cannot pay for new content to actually be made. The most surprising at this low end, to me personally, is actually Arcana Tactics, which I think is a really fun and strong game. It is a little bit more time consuming, and it is not easy to just pull out on a subway or while you have 5 seconds watching TV or while you're at the bathroom. So maybe that's why it's further down this list, because it doesn't actually play to the strengths of the gacha marketplace. Whereas something like Romancing Saga Reuniverse has been out for a while, but is still a really freakishly good game. There's no reason why either of those two should be anywhere close to sub $100,000, and I'm actually sad to see that happen. Now let's go up from there. This is the games that finish below $500,000. And so most of these games are in a really, really healthy place for the type of size and content that they do push out. So you can expect them to be around for a little while. And a lot of the games in this list are actually forerunners when it comes to looking at the Asianic servers. So don't be too surprised by some of the names on this list. I don't think any of these games are on their way out just quite yet. And I think all of them have enough development funds to continue moving and giving you great earnings if they choose to do so. This list includes Last Claudia, Langrisser, Girls Frontline, Princess Connect Redive, Another Eden, Brave 9, Magic Rush Heroes, Skullgirls Fighting RPG, The Alchemist Code, Omnioji, Monster Super League, Skylanders Ring of Heroes, Brave Frontier, Sidorica, Ragnarok Labyrinth, Ode to Heroes, Goddess of Genesis S, Heroes Conter, Tales of Christoria, and Devil Book. The top 2 on this list are very, very surprising. Curl's Frontline definitely does better in Asia than it does here, and Another Eden also kills it in Asia, but it's pretty surprising to see that not a lot of Western fans are really into Lost Claudia, Langrisser, and Another Eden to the extent of a lot of other games that finished above them. It's pretty interesting, and I don't quite know why. You know, we saw something on the last slide that I didn't realize in my data for this month. I did twice. One was actually with a typo, so I pulled up another game, and that was Girls Frontline. So you're going to see Girls Frontline in this one as well. I didn't edit it out just because I already made the statements that I did about them, and honestly, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and put this here because I did it wrong. Girls Frontline is definitely worth checking out. It's one of the strongest gacha games, in my opinion, if you're willing to learn the mechanics. It is a pretty confusing game that's incredibly, incredibly rewarding. So with that said, we're going to go to the games that made less than $1 million last month. That is Stadia Final Fantasy, Omnia Opera, Illusion Connect, Guardian Tales, Sad Face, Saint Seiya Awakening, One Piece Treasure Cruise, Puzzles and Dragon, here's the Girls Frontline finishing here, Lord of Heroes, Exos Heroes, Sinnoh Alice, Dragalia Lost, One Punch Man, Road to Whoring, Road to Hero 2.0, and that'll do it for this section of the tier list. They're at $1 million, under $1 million. This to me is actually pretty projectable. It's surprising to me that Saint Seiya Awakening and Lord of Heroes are both in this class with the other games that are in here. A lot of the larger IP games, I definitely understand why they're in here, even if they're not the best games. But a game like Lord of Heroes didn't exactly shine and has fallen down in the rankings for previous months. So I do actually wonder what is going on in Lord of Heroes that's really starting to capture the attention of the marketplace. So kudos to you, Lord of Heroes. I always enjoyed the story. I just didn't like your monetization scheme. And here we are between the $1 million and the $3 million mark, guys. These are probably some of your staple games, the healthiest games that you will see on the marketplace. And honestly, there's not too much to say about most of these. They're really, really freaking good. And those would be Fate Grand Order, Evertale, Pokemon Masters, Honkai Impact 3rd, Bleach Brave Souls, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, Cookie Run Kingdom, Mobile Legends Adventure, Azure Lane, Grand Summoners, Arknights, and Bleach Immortal Soul. Oh, One Piece Bounty Rush 2. Shout out to you, Tag the Legend. So guys, that'll do it for all of the games that I looked at this list. As I'm going back through my data, I did see a couple of errors that I have already pointed out. So be sure to keep me honest on these things because I do want to make sure that I'm giving you the most accurate data physically possible. I look forward to adding more games. Like, I'm really interested to see where Pretty Derby falls when it comes out. Not only is it a Psy Games game, which is generally a really good game. They are a really good publisher in the gacha scene, but it's also beating out titles like Dragon Ball Z in Japan. It's absolutely insane. And then we have a couple of other interesting titles that were released this month. Games like Code Seed, Counter-Strike, or Counter-Side, not Counter-Strike. What is up with me today, guys?